Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is Inauguration Day and the prophecies associated with it. And for a start, let me remind you that effective January 31 of 2025, Prophecy Club is no longer going to be mailing out DVDs. We've been mailing them out for almost 25 years now. There was a time we switched from videotapes to DVDs, and now we're just going straight with watchprophecyclub.com. You can watch almost 300 DVDs, $20 a month, $200 a year at watchprophecyclub.com. So, for as long as they last, which we estimate is going to be probably by the end of the month, we are offering them instead of $30 each, some of them even $45 or even $50, but now $10 each at prophecyclubresources.com. We'll get you there a little faster. prophecyclubresources.com. All right. I want to point out some things to start off with where we've been telling you the truth. Now, I did not get this prophecy, but we did at Prophecy Club put it out because it was confirmed. So way back in 2021, Barry Wunsch said he saw in a vision the front of a newspaper that said, "Victory, Donald Trump sweeps the nation." And I found two articles that have those same words in the article. And that one's CBS News, the other one's Fox News, and saying Trump sweeps the nation. I think that's some credibility. We should give thanks to the Lord for bringing us. Also, I covered this one way back in 2016. Henry Groover had a vision. I opened the door to see Donald John Trump and his wife dressed like a king. That's important, king. His wife is carrying a shawl on her left arm. By the way, this is probably going to be the only one I read. The rest of them I'm just going to summarize because I've got lots of good information to bring you today. His wife carrying a shawl over her left arm made of gold tweed with big royal jewels in it. "Mr. Donald Trump, what do we owe the honor of your visit?" Oh, he said, Henry, never mind. We're family. This is just a family visit. I just came to see you. He sits, his wife puts the shawl over his shoulders and drapes it down in front of him and stands beside him. It is beautiful, made for royalty. The whole visit, strictly family, asking about our different children, how we were doing. Finally, he stands and says, "Well, we got a lot to do. I'll be back. I'll be back." So that was a prophecy, said twice, that Donald Trump would return. This is back in 2016. This is before he was even won the first election. So to get that, and now here it is, come this Monday, he's inaugurated for the second time. So I brought you two prophecies that were accurate, that came to pass. After the limo drives off, I wave my arms, trying to tell him he left his shawl. Then I hear a voice speak from behind me. That would be the gods talking to him. "He'll be back." And I say, wow. Okay, and the vision ended. Two of them that were accurate. Now, let me go to another one. Terry Bennett, I saw in the governmental arena, will go through dramatic changes in our government. With the cabinet that Trump is about to get elected into place, we're about to see big changes. And unfortunately, there's not enough good people in America to like those good changes. And so we're about to see the internal revolution start. In other words, there's a lot of evil people that will not like what Donald Trump and his staff is about to do. The prophecy goes on to say, for a while we'll have a fractional government, which means basically our government is going to come down to the state level. Why? Because so many people in top levels of government, business, banking, education get arrested. Those arrests, in my opinion, and so say the prophecies, are about to start, possibly next week. State level, because the military steps in, seizes control of our federal government. You'd call it a coup, but in all honesty, it'll be to help our nation. It's a cleaning. That's why the military will step in. And I'm going to talk more about that in just a second. Now, again, I'm just summarizing. Brandon Biggs said that there's going to be another assassination attempt, and we're praying against it. Lord, do not let our Donald Trump president be hurt in any way. In Jesus' name. Some came across the border. This is only part of it. Some were people inside that already live here waiting for assignments. The Lord showed me a white, unmarked, windowless 16-passenger cargo van with barrels in them, full of fertilizer, close to the buildings Trump owned because they were trying to do retaliation, is what it says, for this Qasem, what was his name? Qasem Soleimani that Trump killed back in 2020. I saw the man's face, and the people behind it, so it says, is Iran. And they're like ants coming out from underground. So we're praying that Trump will not be hurt. As you recall, President Trump also had the man stand up that was going to bring $20 billion in foreign investment to build a data center. And we hope those data centers won't turn into be a tracking system for the mark of the beast and the image of the beast, but that's my suspicion. Also, here is the fulfillment of Donald Trump becoming a king. They're about to inaugurate him if he makes it to Monday. But he's already doing several things. They're already getting started. So I'm going to be real interested to see if he actually gets inaugurated as president or if he has to step in as king, or maybe he becomes president, but he acts and has the power of a king. I don't know. We will see. Next thing I got to point out that's really important. Look at the top left side, 12/9/24. This is a government website where the government can post things it wants to buy. It has posted that it's looking for potassium iodide tablets, and that wants them 224,000 packages of 20-tablet blister packs by December 21 or 2024. Why would the government be buying these? Well, I'll tell you why. Because when a nuclear device is detonated, it blows radioactive powder every place you can't avoid it. A simple fix is taking these potassium iodide pills, floods your thyroid with good iodine, and saving your life. We recommend you get the 10-tablet option, which is $150 for 10 of these bottles. One bottle per person per exposure saves a life. There's your more of the details. Go to prophecyclub.com to get it. Another one that's important to point out is this came from Timothy Dixon back in 22. He said the headline I saw was, "He's back. President Donald Trump is back." Now, I'm pointing out some things that we put out. Now, I didn't get this. I didn't prophesy it, but we put it out that have come to pass. They're accurate. Part of it also said they just called in the National Guard. That may be about to happen next week. Do I know what's going to happen next week? No, I don't. God has not told me. Matter of fact, God hadn't told me anything about that. But from all of the prophecies, it stands a very good possibility of starting, yes, next week. They just called the National Guard. They're putting security fences around the White House, Supreme Court, and all the other important government buildings. There's hostility due to the overwhelming truth coming out about the cover-up of the election, now exposed in this takeover of America. People are being arrested. A lot of mischief was coming to light. There were emergency hearings at the Supreme Court building. There was anger and hostility. The truth was intentionally being revealed. God was exposing and shaking things. I'm telling you, this could happen next week. I saw senators, governors, and other government officials who had not accepted any of this cheating stuff see video proof that was undeniable. They changed their minds instantly. Things flipped and totally turned around instantly. Okay, so the scuttlebutt on the internet is that when Trump takes over, I don't know that it necessarily happens the same day. Okay, so don't necessarily expect this to happen January 20th. It may be later. I don't know. But when the massive arrests start, and I do have a thus saith the Lord on that, I heard the audible voice of God twice. I've talked about that. I heard massive arrest, massive arrest. So when that takes over, the scuttlebutt on the internet is the plan is that they've got an 8-hour video of all of these dastardly deeds, and they repeat it 3 times a day, and it's the only thing on radio, TV, internet, any place. You got to watch it. And it's a forced airing, just like he says here. Anyway, let's go on. The footage is called The Silence of the Lambs. I'll go on. This guy came out back in 2020, and he says little is known about this new financial system that they're coming out with. It's a takeover of the central bank monetary debt system. In other words, the Federal Reserve, That whole Federal Reserve banking system, the dollar, all of that is going bye-bye. They're bringing in a new financial system, so he says. The alliance gave President Trump the magic wand of taking over the old banking system without changing it. Humanity does not have the technology to fight the deep state's financial system, so they are replacing it. Let's go on. Now, I put this in dark because the text there is not what I'm pointing out. But this is by Barry Wunsch. This is what I'm pointing out. I saw a set of ornate gold binders labeled, look at this, Strategic Plans for the Republic. God-loving, God-fearing men and women gathered together were working on the rebirth, listen to this, rebirth of the Republic of the United States of America. Right now, we are called the all-capital United States of America. But several people say that they're going to change the name and give us a new flag called the Republic of the United States of America. I saw that there's going to be a collapse coming. I think it's talking about a financial collapse. And they're ready to go when it came time to do so. The corporation of the all-capital United States of America was bankrupt along with the Federal Reserve. I want to see them clean this up. Let's go on. Now, I've talked about this several times. Look at the date, 11/11/2019. This was when Trump was president the first time. He just got off of a helicopter. I remember it very well. And of course, every time he get off the helicopter, all of the reporters would abscond him and attack him with questions. And this was one of his answers. I think in the light of all the things going on, you know what I mean by that, the fake news, the Comeys of the world, all the bad things that went on, it is called the swamp. I caught them all. Now, what is he saying? This is way back 2019. I'm going to show you what he's saying, and it's very important. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done it but me. I caught all of this corruption. Look at that word corruption. That's important. This corruption is going on, and nobody else could have done it. What's he talking about? This is what he's talking about. This is the Federal Register. The date is December 20th, 2017. Executive Order, you can look it up, 13818. Try to remember that. And that is called blocking the property of persons involved in serious human rights abuse or, there's that word again, corruption. What's it saying? It's saying that he signed this executive order. Now, we know that another president can come in and do away with those executive orders. So this may have been done away with, but they may still be filing sealed indictments. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. If you want to, you can read this, and this gives you the actual document. Here it is, more of it. And essentially, it gives the military authority to arrest people and to confiscate their property if they've done two things. If they have done serious human rights abuse, in other words, child sex trafficking, human trafficking, things like that, or corruption. They've done one of those two things, they can be arrested. Here's him saying it again. This was in one of his rallies, 9/7/24. This was his words. With your vote, this election, the lying, cheating, thieving, hoaxing, and plotting will come to an end. It's going to come to an end. We're going to cash out the corrupt political class. I hope you're listening to what he's saying. Listen, just believe what he's saying. We're going to restore our republic. New flag, new name, okay? We're going to drain the swamp. And we're going to do it once and for all. We're going to get it done. He didn't just say this once. He said it several times. Here's another one. August 27th, 24. Trump declares war on crooked and dishonest Washington establishment. They're going to be held accountable. Here's what he's talking about. Now you can go to bad-boys.us and you can see what I'm about to show you. And as you look at this, you'll say, well, either this is true or somebody went to years and years and years and years of trouble, not days and weeks, but years of trouble to put this together. What's it talking about? Well, when there is an arrest warrant, that arrest warrant is served. But sometimes they seal it, and that's called a sealed indictment. This is a simple way to explain it. Now, normally there's anywhere from 75 to 125 sealed indictments across the 50 states at any one particular time. But this tells you that there are, and I just pulled this off, this is updated, there's 475,635 sealed indictments. What's a sealed indictment? It's an arrest warrant that's ready to be served, but they know it's part of a gang, it's part of a group. If they start switching on the light, start running into the cockroaches, then all the other cockroaches run, and they run and hide into the cracks. So they seal it so that they can all be unsealed and arrested all at once. So they flip the light on, and thousands of arrests will take place immediately. Who's going to arrest them? All of those details, I don't know. We have a lot of law enforcement in America, and I'm pretty sure the law enforcement is ready and raring to go to start the arrests. Let's go on. Now, in case you think this is just bogus, again, go to, look, top left corner. You can see it, bad-boys.us. That's the website I get this from. And if you'll click on some of those links, this is one of the links. It has a listing of all of this. If you look at the date, when did it start? 4/1/2018. Well, let's back up. Let's see. When did this come out? That's December 20, 2017. So these started, look at the date, right up there, 4/1/2018. So just a few months after this was signed, the arrests began. I mean, I didn't make this up. It's out there. And then if you'll scroll down, look, I want you to look at the numbers on the left. See where it says Central District of California, that's number 11, and it lists all of these indictments. That's what these are. Initial machine count cases filed, 519. This is, each one of those lines, this is not one. This represents sometimes several hundred indictments. But if you scroll down, and I did, see the numbers on the left, look at them. It stops at 4950. Now, I went on down to the bottom. This is the bottom page. It goes down to over 8,000. And if you'll look, okay, look at the date here, in the very bottom of the green area there, where it says Western District of Wisconsin, and number 8003 off to the left. Look, a little bitty, 8003, Western District of Wisconsin, 12/1/2024. In other words, to 12/28/2024. They're still arresting people. So what does that mean? Now, do I know that on January 20th or maybe 21st, the next day after Trump has put his hand on the Bible, do I know for certain that we're about to see massive arrests? No, he hasn't told me. Matter of fact, this is what other people have said. All of this is what other people have heard from God and prophesied. But if the prophets are right, and I showed you a couple examples where they are, and if Trump does what he said he's going to do, and I showed you he said it several times, if that all happens, probably next week, we're going to start seeing massive arrests. And I've also showed you the dream from Jason Meeks, where it showed four things. Showed, first of all, the financial system had changed. Put in $20 bill, cost him $1 to get the money out of the ATM. Put in a card, got a $20 bill back. Did it again back to back. Now it cost him $42 for the same exchange. Means that there was a change in our currency. Second thing, they were rejoicing in the street because Trump was in charge. Third, there was massive arrests. Fourth, there was a suitcase nuke that went off. Now, I personally suspect, I do not know, I personally suspect, watch this, that there's about 6 months between this event and the suitcase nukes. At least I hope. Now, do I know? No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a watchman doing my best to try to tell you things that God has not told me. If I have no way about it, God just send an angel to me and just tell me, okay, here's exactly what's happened. Tell the people. Now, I would tell them, okay? But unfortunately, God has not seen fit to speak to me that much. And he probably has not seen fit to speak to you that much either. So we're all seeing through a glass darkly. We are all doing our best to try to figure out what's going on. with very limited information. All right, let's go on. This is an interview, and if you look at the bottom left, BlackRock's next plans will shock the world. Who's BlackRock? Well, they're one of the three organizations that own the planet, practically. Now, I'll give you the location if you want to go watch it, but it's like an hour long. No, I guess it's 15 minutes long. But anyway, this lady said something very important. This is what she said. They've already made the solution. They've already developed what they want to be a new, listen carefully, a new financial governance. Okay, it didn't just say finance, a new governance. In other words, a new government tied with it, a new financial governance system after this new Bretton Woods movement. They just need some sort of big event. What's the big event? On the scale of World War II, or some large event that's equally disruptive to bring in a new financial governance system. What's the new big event? Well, I guess it could be suitcase nukes. I guess it could be massive arrests. It could be a new president coming in that has the authority to do this. Could be. There's more. Hang on. Now let's jump to Mark Taylor back in 2017. Remember, this is the guy that like 5 years before Trump was even thinking about running, he said Trump was going to be president. Everybody thought, yeah, you're crazy. 5 years later, he's found to be right. So at that, a lot of people started listening to Mark Taylor with good reason. Here's part of what he said back in 2017. When they start rounding up these people, notice he didn't say if. When they start rounding up these people from some of these indictments, there could be civil unrest. Well, that's what Terry Bennett says, what several of them said. They're thinking to drop the hammer on a lot of these people, and they're going to start rounding guys up. And it could possibly end up with some civil unrest in some areas of the country. That's saying it mildly. They will use military-style tribunals. Okay, what's the difference between civil and military? Okay, civil, you have the right to remain silent, have a right to attorney, if you cannot afford one be appointed to you, and all of that stuff. That is a system that is designed for Christians, a Christian nation filled with Christians that are trying to do it right. But that didn't work for military. So here's the way it worked with military. Military guys, probably the Marines, but not just the Marines, go out and arrest people. But they have to take them onto a military property. That could be a boat. That could be, like Fort Detrick, okay? I mean, some kind of a military-owned area. And then they stand before 3 military judges, and they don't waste time. They can judge lots and lots of people in one day. They can judge an entire group of people, a large group of people all at once that did the same thing. And yes, you can appeal, but it's pretty much wasting your time. And so what all of the prophecies say is they're going to go to military-style tribunals where they don't have a right to an attorney. They don't have a right to remain silent. And whatever they say can and will be used against them. And it's hard, fast, quick justice. Heavy on the word justice. They'll use military-style tribunals. Donald Trump is getting his team in place where they can go after these people and prosecute them because there are going to be military-style tribunals. This was back in 2017. Okay, did he know something? Well, apparently he did because the executive order probably wasn't even signed yet. Okay, let's go on. Iran, Russia, North Korea, Israel, America, and the West, I'm with you. This comes from Barry once again. I grayed out this. It's not important. Here's the part I want to point to. He says, people were gathering. There were big gatherings and little gatherings and everything in between, but the tone was the same, and that was that they were standing for the Lord, His justice, in allegiance to the United States of America and to the Republic. Notice he says the Republic, for which it stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I realized that I was seeing before my eyes was the rebirthing of the Republic, and that's the correct name that we're going to be given. I've heard that from several people. Republic of the United States of America. It's no longer going to become all capital United States of America. It's going to be called the Republic of the United States of America. You got it right. Coming into godly biblical kingdom governance. Kingdom. Look at that word kingdom. not an accident. Sometimes we see words, we let them fly over our head, and we miss. But that one, don't miss it. Biblical kingdom governance for the nation. Now, where do you think this is going, Stan? I think that Trump is about to clean house. I think we're about to see massive arrests. I think we're about to see the Federal Reserve and that whole dollar system removed and a new system come in. And I think that the good people, the Christians especially, will be rejoicing. But the problem is, most of America is not Christians. So what we're going to see is a lot of people that don't like this happening, don't like the people that they love being arrested and justice handed to them. And so, as Dimitri was told, the fall of America will start with an internal revolution in America. In other words, the people of America, the evil people, rise up and overcome Trump and his good guys he's putting in right now. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. The government will be busy with internal problems. Then from the oceans, Russia, Cuba, Nicaragua. Okay, do you see? Well, when's that going to happen? Well, I don't know. But I think it's not too far off. That's my point today. I think it's not too. Let me finish this. Run out of time. I was taken behind a curtain of a very large stage where President Trump was surrounded by family, friends, and generals. The moment was nearly at hand to see the greatest victory of light over darkness America had ever seen. Donald Trump would soon take center stage. So here we are. And there's a summary of what I think is about to happen. And I will pause and let you read it right there. But I have run out of time as far as me today. prophecyclub.com. And by the way, we could use your financial gifts too. As you recall, this past Saturday, November the 9th, the Lord spoke to me 2 words screaming at me loud like a trumpet. Medical, medical. I take that to mean that not only myself, but also those that follow Prophecy Club, in addition to all of the other preparations we've made, we need to start making medical preparations. And I put that out, and I was deluged with emails sending me to this place. This is the place that all of you seem to like when it comes to medical supplies. So I called them, hooked up, and I've arranged to get you a 5% discount when you use the promo code PROPHECY. Promo code PROPHECY, 5% discount, and it's refugemedical.com. refugemedical.com. And as you can see, they have all kinds of, here's one of the main things you need to get. It's called a burn bucket. This tells you all about it. They also have a business bundle, a home bundle. I think everybody ought to have at least a home bundle. They also have vehicle bundles, church bundles. So they already put this stuff together, and this is not foreign-made stuff. This is all American-made, and it's by a Christian company. And you go to refugemedical.com. refugemedical.com.